Why do some fish and chip shops in the UK still serve food that tastes like it was cooked yesterday and left sitting under heat lamps until you walk in? In this video, we're revealing the 5 shops you should skip entirely, plus the 3 that actually remember what proper fish and chips should taste like. I visited every single one of these places, checked the crunch, tested the freshness, questioned the oil quality, and judged the service. Some shops shocked me with their prices, others shocked me with what they tried to pass off as food. So subscribe, hit the like button, and let's expose the fish and chip shops to avoid in the UK. What makes a bad fish and chip shop? Before we get into the list, you need to know what separates terrible shops from decent ones. Fish served dry tells you it's been sitting too long. Fish served wet and soggy means the oil temperature was wrong or the batter was cheap. Batter that looks or tastes old indicates they're reusing oil or cutting corners on ingredients. Oil with a strange aftertaste is oil that should have been changed days ago. Chips that are limp or greasy come from oil that's either too cold or too dirty. High prices with no value make you feel robbed. Staff that act like you're bothering them by ordering creates a hostile experience. Extra charges for basics like sauces or mushy peas turn a reasonable meal into an expensive disappointment. Pre-cooked food sitting on the counter waiting for customers guarantees you're eating reheated garbage. Food served cold when it should be piping hot shows complete disregard for quality. Sauce charges that make your final bill shoot up reveal a shop designed to nickel and dime you. Locations that target tourists know they'll never see you again, so quality doesn't matter. You should always scan for freshness before ordering. Walk in, look at what's sitting under the heat lamps, smell the oil. If something feels off, it probably is. Do you notice the oil smell when you enter? Fresh oil smells clean, almost neutral. Old oil smells heavy, rancid, like it's coating the air. That smell should send you straight back out the door. Number 5. Great British Fish and Chips near the London Eye. Tourist Trap doesn't even begin to cover it. This place sits right next to the London Eye, surrounded by millions of visitors who don't know better. They've got someone outside handing out flyers, dressed up to look welcoming and traditional. The online reviews tell a different story. A shocking 3.2 on Google, with complaints ranging from terrible food to actual food poisoning. The food is pre-cooked and sitting out under heat lamps for who knows how long. One reviewer described the haddock as claggy and dry, with a real fear of getting sick from eating it. The chips were bland but edible, which is the nicest thing anyone could say. The gravy was flat and lifeless. The sausage tasted cheap, like the kind you get from discount supermarkets. Mushy peas had no flavor, just green mush. The only decent thing was the southern fried chicken, which tells you everything about the quality of their actual fish. The total came to around £37.45 for what should have been a simple meal. That's robbery for food that makes you question your life choices. Multiple online reviews mention illness after eating here, with one person describing violent food poisoning. When customers are warning others about getting sick, that's not just bad service, that's dangerous food being sold to unsuspecting tourists who think they're getting authentic British fish and chips. Would you pay that price for low-quality food that might make you ill? Because that's exactly what Great British Fish and Chips is offering. They're banking on the fact that tourists won't complain because they'll be gone by the time any symptoms appear. This shop deserves a rating near the bottom. It's exploiting location and foot traffic to sell substandard food at premium prices. Number 4. Fry Delight. Cash only in 2025 should be your first warning sign. Who runs a cash-only business when everyone uses cards? Shops that want to avoid taxes or shops that know their food isn't worth the hassle of electronic payment records? Fry Delight makes you walk to find an ATM and the closest one doesn't even work. You're already frustrated before you've eaten a single chip. Customer frustration builds with every minute spent searching for cash. You finally find a working ATM, walk back and order. The fish looks big at first glance, but that size is deceptive. When you bite in, the fish tastes off. Not spoiled, just wrong, like it was frozen for too long, or the oil it was cooked in was past its prime. The chips are greasy with a strange aftertaste that lingers in your mouth. The fish itself is dry, despite being greasy, which shouldn't even be possible. The batter is flat and lifeless. The entire experience is ruined by the payment hassle combined with disappointing food. Even if the fish and chips were decent, making customers hunt for cash in the modern age shows contempt for convenience. But the food isn't decent, it's mediocre at best, actively bad at worst. The rating sits around 2.5 out of 5, and that feels generous. Do you walk away when a shop is cash only? You should, because cash-only policies in 2025 are flag reds indicating deeper problems. Fry Delight dropped lower than expected, not just because of the food, but because the entire operation feels stuck in the past while charging present-day prices for substandard quality.
Number 3. Poppies. Poppies appear on best-of lists constantly. 4 locations across London. The interior looks fun with vintage decor and nostalgic vibes, but food doesn't match the hype, and that's the most disappointing kind of failure. When a shop sets expectations high and then delivers mediocrity, it feels worse than a shop that's honestly bad from the start. The chips are weak on flavor, tasting more of oil than potato. The batter is light and crunchy, which sounds good until you realize it has no taste. Crunch without flavor is just textured air. The fish is moist but bland. It's cooked properly but seasoned so poorly you might as well be eating steamed fish with no salt or lemon. Speaking of which, no salt is provided. No lemon comes with the fish, no sauces are included. Everything costs extra. The review score sits at around 2.9 out of 5, raising serious questions about the awards they advertise. National Fish and Chip Awards winner? Based on what criteria? Because it certainly wasn't taste or value. The awards must be for interior design or marketing, because the food doesn't deserve recognition. Should awards mean anything if the taste is weak and the experience is underwhelming? Poppies trades on reputation and Instagram-worthy interiors while serving fish and chips that barely register as food. The vintage decor can't mask bland fish and under-seasoned chips. You're paying for atmosphere, not quality. And when you're spending money on fish and chips, you should be getting proper food, not a photo opportunity with mediocre eating attached. Number 2. Mayfair Chippy. Price shock hits you immediately. No small fish option means you're forced into premium pricing, whether you want it or not. Fish costs £12.25 without chips. Chips add nearly £5 more. Your total reaches £17.20 before you've added anything else. That's not fish and chips pricing. That's fine dining pricing for takeaway food. Some areas of Mayfair feel unwelcoming unless you look like you belong. The staff aren't rude, but there's a sense that this shop serves a specific clientele and everyone else is tolerated. The batter isn't crunchy enough, with an oily underside that suggests it sat in the fryer too long or the temperature was wrong. Mushy peas come with overpowering garlic that doesn't belong anywhere near traditional mushy peas. The chips are missing salt, so you'll need to season them yourself. But here's the twist. The staff are actually kind when you interact with them. Sauces are included at no extra cost, which is rare in London. The fish quality is genuinely good when you get past the batter issues. The curry sauce receives praise from multiple reviewers. The overall rating sits around 4.1 out of 5, which is respectable. Mayfair Chippy appears on both the avoid and great lists because it's complicated. The food is good enough to recommend based purely on taste and service, but the price makes it nearly impossible to justify. Would you pay premium prices for a dish that's supposed to be affordable comfort food? That's the question Mayfair Chippy forces you to answer. The shop appears on the avoid list due to cost, not taste, but that cost is significant enough to make most people walk away. Number 1. Seashell of Lisson Grove. Seashell has a strong reputation built over decades. It's been around long enough that people have childhood memories attached to it. But recent visits revealed problems that tarnish that reputation. The fish is fresh and well cooked, which is more than most shops can claim. The crunch is light and pleasant. The chips are good quality, though not salted, which seems to be a running theme in London. But here's where it fails. Mushy peas cost extra. Sauces cost extra. Everything beyond the basic fish and chips adds charges that make the meal expensive quickly. The fish portion is small compared to the mountain of chips you receive. The balance feels off. You're paying for fish, but getting mostly chips. The cost comes to around £13.50, which isn't outrageous, but feels high for what you receive. Some customers report it didn't meet their expectations, especially those who remember it from years ago. The quality seems to have slipped, while the reputation remained intact. The rating hovers around 3.8 to 3.9 out of 5. That's good, but not great. Not bad enough for the bottom tier, but not strong enough for the top recommendations. Does Seashell match its long-running fame? That depends on what you're comparing it to. Against tourist traps like Great British Fish and Chips, it's significantly better. Against proper traditional fish and chip shops in other parts of the country, it's merely adequate. Seashell trades on history and location more than current quality. It's not actively bad, but it's not the destination shop its reputation suggests. The good news: 3 shops that deliver. After the rough moments, you need good news. Some shops in London still remember what fish and chips should be. Fresh oil that doesn't overpower the food, hot chips straight from the fryer, real crunch that sounds right when you bite, no fuss, no tricks, no games. These 3 shops deliver honest food at fair prices. Are you ready for the good list? Because these are the shops worth your time and money.
Number 3. Rock and Soul Place. One of the oldest fish and chip shops in the world, founded in the 1800s. That kind of longevity doesn't happen by accident. Rock and Soul Place has survived because it understands the fundamentals. The fish is huge and genuinely fresh, not sitting under heat lamps for hours. The batter delivers proper crunch without being greasy. The chips come out piping hot, the way they should. The taste is real chip shop flavor, the kind that reminds you why fish and chips became a British staple in the first place. It still needs salt, which you add yourself, but the base flavor is strong enough that seasoning enhances rather than rescues it. The tartar sauce is the best of any shop tested, tangy and fresh rather than mayo-based glop. The price sits around £13.30 for takeaway, which is reasonable for central London quality. Service is steady without being memorable. You order, you wait a reasonable time, you get your food. No drama, no attitude, no confusion. The shop feels real and honest, focused on food rather than gimmicks or tourist traps. The rating deserves to sit around 4.1 out of 5, based purely on consistent quality and fair pricing. Is this old-school approach your style? Because Rock and Soul Place represents traditional fish and chips done properly, without trying to reinvent or modernize the concept. Some people want innovation, others want reliability. This shop delivers reliability in an industry where that's increasingly rare. Number 2. Mayfair Chippy. Yes, again. Mayfair Chippy appears on both lists because context matters. As an expensive option, it's hard to recommend. As a quality option, it deserves recognition. The food is genuinely strong when you focus purely on taste. The fish quality is good, properly cooked with decent batter when you get a good batch. The sauces being included free is a significant advantage in London's nickel-and-dime fish shop market. The staff are friendly once you're past the initial ordering. Service is fast for the quality being delivered. The curry sauce receives consistent praise from customers who specifically mention it in reviews.
The overall experience is better than most competitors when you remove price from the equation. That's worth acknowledging, even though the cost remains a barrier. The shop beats many competitors on execution and consistency. You know what you're getting. The quality doesn't vary wildly between visits. That reliability, combined with decent customer service, earns it a place on the great list despite the pricing concerns. Ask yourself whether taste is worth the cost, because that's the trade-off Mayfair Chippy forces you to make. If you've got the budget and you want quality fish and chips in an upscale area, Mayfair Chippy delivers. If you're looking for value or traditional chip shop pricing, it's not your place. The shop occupies a specific niche, and within that niche it performs well. That's enough to earn a spot here despite also appearing on the avoid list. Number 1. Seashell of Lissengrove. Yes, also again. Seashell appears on both lists for the same reason as Mayfair. The quality is genuinely there when you strip away the comparisons to what it used to be. The fish is fresh, which immediately puts it ahead of most London shops. The crunch is proper, not too heavy or too light. The chips are strong quality, cooked well with good texture throughout. The vibe outside the shop is pleasant, with people eating nearby and enjoying their food. The shop is linked to childhood memories for many Londoners, which adds sentimental value beyond just the food quality. A light lemon touch works well, brightening the fish without overpowering it. Service is quick without being rushed. You get your food and you leave satisfied. It's not flawless, the extra charges remain annoying, and the portion balance still favors chips over fish. But the consistency and the quality of what you actually receive earn it recognition. The shop appears on the great list because it delivers steady, reliable fish and chips without major failures. That's more than most London shops can claim. For visitors looking for a safe bet or locals wanting decent fish and chips without gambling on unknown shops, Seashell provides exactly what you need. It may not blow you away, but it won't disappoint you either. In London's fish and chip scene, that reliability is valuable enough to earn the top spot on the good list. The fish and chip game in London is rigged toward tourists and people who don't know better. But armed with this information, you can avoid the traps and find the shops that actually deserve your money. Subscribe for more British food rankings and let us know which shop shocked you the most. Until next time, keep your standards high and your fish fresh.